Welcome back to Wild Survival, where we explore extraordinary stories of survival and resilience. In this episode, you will hear an inspiring tale of courage straight from the heart of Orange County, California, as we delve into the harrowing experience of Hjelle, a fearless adventurer who came face to face with one of nature's most elusive and dangerous predators, the mountain lion. It was January 8th, 2004, a perfect day for an afternoon ride through the mountain biking trails of the Santa Ana Mountains in sunny California. Anne and her good friend Debbie Nichols decided to grab their bikes and gear after work to set out for a quick ride less than an hour long. They were experienced riders, no strangers to pushing their limits and enjoying the thrill of the mountain trails. Anne and Debbie coasted through the trail, but soon came upon another mountain biker who stopped in the middle of the trail. They asked to see if he was okay, and he replied that he was looking for the owner of the abandoned bike next to him. Anne thought that he might be joking, so they decided to continue on the trail. A strange encounter, but they pushed ahead anyway. As Anne led the way ahead of Debbie, she came up on the top of the final hill of the trail, but as she began her descent, she noticed something in her peripheral. She knew it was an animal and could detect a hint of reddish-brown fur, but she thought it was just a deer, as they are known to be frequent in the area. But before she could even complete her thought, she was slammed to the ground. A huge mountain lion was now on top of Anne, biting and clawing her in its death grip. With a mastery of ambush tactics, the mountain lion sets its sight on unsuspecting prey. It can lay deathly still and quiet until, in a breathtaking display of power, it launches itself up to an astonishing distance of 40 feet, catching its victim completely off guard. With a calculated pounce, it swiftly subdues the target, unleashing its immense weight to stun and overpower. The mountain lion's sharp claws dig deep, ensuring a firm grip, while its powerful jaws seek the prey's vulnerable neck to swiftly immobilize and overwhelm. Through suffocation, the mountain lion persists until its mission is complete. It can subdue and carry prey that weighs more than itself, and also run and jump with it over fences, or drag it up to a half-mile. The mountain lion is certainly one of the more terrifying predators in the wild. Anne felt like she had been hit by a bus. The wind had been knocked out of her, and she was helpless as the big cat began to drag her down into the ravine. Its jaws clenched tight around the back of her neck, and she did her best to fight back. Anne bravely began punching the wildcat in the face, but to no avail. The beast only paused to readjust its grip, and Anne realized it was working its way to the front and most vulnerable part of her neck. She could only think to protect this area with her hands, and by tucking her chin down. She knew that if the mountain lion took hold of her throat, it would be over. Anne did all she could to scream out for Debbie, and as she did, Debbie appeared. But Debbie panicked as she saw Anne being attacked and threw her bike at the mountain lion, but it had no effect. She then grabbed onto Anne's leg and began a full-on tug-of-war with a massive mountain lion to save her friend. Debbie mustered every bit of her strength and courage to keep the predator from dragging Anne down further into the ravine, holding on for dear life as the ferocious cat clamped its jaws down on Anne's head and its razor-sharp claws digging into her shoulders. Debbie was courageously determined not to let the big cat take Anne, and she assured Anne that she would not let go. But the beast had its own determination not to let go. Anne's face felt white-hot as her cheek was torn away from the left side. The monstrous cat kept dragging and biting down on her over and over. She felt her ear be torn away, her nose crushed, and her cheek punctured. Anne knew it was still trying to make its way to the front of her neck, where it could incapacitate her completely. She did her best to protect her throat from the sharp fangs and vice-grip jaws, but the mountain lion was able to clamp down on her throat. Things were starting to go black as she felt herself fade. She started to say goodbye to Debbie, convinced that these were her final moments of life. But Debbie persisted, and their screams had alerted the other riders on the trail. One went to call emergency services, while the other two began throwing rocks and yelling at the mountain lion, still gripped on Anne. They hit the cat 3 times, the final blow landing on its head, and thankfully that was enough for it to let go and retreat. Anne had gone unconscious before the other riders had arrived, but as she came to, she was shocked that the cat was gone and that she was awake and alive. But her injuries were severe. She almost couldn't breathe as blood pooled into her throat. The left side of her face was torn to shreds, and her cheek was hanging from her jaw. But she was alive. She realized that her eyes were okay and she could see, a small sign that she was probably going to be okay. Paramedics arrived in under 20 minutes. A helicopter flew overhead and spotted the mountain lion crouched down only a few yards away, waiting for another chance to finish its kill. Later, police searched the area and found that the predator had in fact killed Mark Reynolds, the man that had left his bike abandoned on the trail. Since Mark was alone, his odds of surviving were dismal. The mountain lion was later found, shot, and killed. Anne immediately went into surgery for over 6 hours. Her injuries were the worst her trauma doctor had ever seen, and although Anne was unfortunately attacked, she was lucky that out of her 20 deep puncture wounds that she sustained, nothing major was damaged. Miraculously, her trachea, esophagus, voice box, and carotid artery were all intact. After only 4 months, Hjelle triumphantly returned to the trails, defying the haunting memories of that harrowing day. She boldly asserts that she has a choice, to either succumb to fear's grip or seize control over her own destiny. She is eternally grateful to her dear friend Debbie Nichols, who saved Anne from certain death. Anne considers herself fortunate, as she has not been plagued by the torments of PTSD or nightmares since the attack. In an extraordinary display of courage, she even ventures onto the very trail where her life nearly ended. Her indomitable spirit and unwavering determination shine brilliantly as she embraces each new day as an opportunity for growth and living life to the fullest. Here are some helpful tips for being prepared if you find yourself in mountain lion territory. Do not hike or jog by yourself. Travel in groups and make your presence known. Make noise, sing, talk loudly, or wear a bell. Watch children closely and never let them run ahead or lag behind on the trail. Talk to children about the dangers of mountain lions and how to be prepared for one. Make sure to hike during daylight hours and to stay on established trails. Watch for signs such as scat, claw marks, and scratch piles, usually made up of grass, dirt, pine needles, and leaves. If you see a mountain lion, do not approach it. Walk backwards, slowly, while keeping your eye on it. Do not bend over or crouch down. If you make yourself small, you look more like prey. Do what you can to stand tall and appear larger, raising your arms or opening up your jacket if you're wearing one, and make loud noises to be intimidating. Give the mountain lion an easy escape route away from you. They generally avoid confrontation, but they are more likely to be aggressive if it is a mother protecting her cubs. If you see any cubs, stay far away and put distance between you. Their mother is sure to be nearby. Avoid taking pets as they are easy prey and may attract mountain lions. If you are attacked or lunged at, do everything you can to fight back. Use rocks, sticks, any tools you can grab, and even use your bare hands. Mountain lions aim for the head and neck, so try to keep those protected and away from it. And remember to report any mountain lion sightings to the local park rangers or police. As we conclude this episode about Hjelle's incredible journey of courage and resilience, let us be reminded of the tenacious human spirit in the face of unimaginable challenges. The wilderness may be unpredictable, but our ability to adapt and overcome is limitless. In the next episode, a marine biologist and whale researcher experiences an unbelievable situation of a whale protecting her from a predatory shark and saving her from a likely brutal encounter. Thanks for tuning in to Wild Survival, and remember, explore with caution and thrive with resilience.